Hello viewers, my name is Mrs. Regina Wizzy-Beke. I am a marriage instructor, counselor, and author of 4 very inspiring books. In today's episode, we are going to look at part 2, Mysteries in Marriage. Mysteries in Marriage, part 2. In part 1, because it's a very broad topic, I had to narrow it down to different parts. In part 1, we had looked at the 2 principal factors, husband and wife in marriage. And I did mention that husband in the realm of the spirit represents handling useful substances bounding around neighboring dynasty, while wife represents wonderful informants for elevation. So, I also went further to talk about the 2 states of love. The 2 states of love. And I mentioned that in the realm of the spirit, we have 2 states of love. We have the operational state of love and the expressional state of love. The operational state of love and the expressional state of love. When God created man and woman, He put them in different states of love. He put man in the operational state of love, while woman in the expressional state of love. And the operational state of love, what exists there is action, service. Action, that's the language a man understands. Service. While in the expressional state of love, communication. What a woman hears. That is why wife represents wonderful informant for elevation. Everything about her has to do with information, what she hears. We see this in the garden where Eve went listening to the serpent, and you can remember the disaster that brought to both Adam and Eve in the garden. So today we are interested in the source of information, what a woman hears. Where should she get her information from? The Bible tells, in scriptures, we are told that God created woman and handed her to man as his helpmate. That means that the man is a custodian, or is to take care of the woman. That also means that if the woman knows anything, that knowledge should come from the man, from her husband, the head. So, it is the duty of a husband to teach his wife what he wants her to know, because she's a wonderful informant for his elevation. For his elevation. Wonderful informant for man's elevation. That's what a woman represents. Now, husbands, it is your duty to teach your wives what you want her to know. Don't say she's supposed to know it. No. She has come to serve you. She has come to be a helpmate to you. You have to teach her. You have to teach her the things you want her to know. And you teach her right. Remember, the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Finds a wife. That means that in every woman there's a wife inside of her, and the man has to find it. Wife is a mental state. A mental state. That is why it's information. That is why a woman exists in the expressional state of love, not operational. Expressional state of love, information. What a woman hears makes her. Take a look at our teenage girls. Young boys tell them very small lies, and they run and follow them. I love you. Oh, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. You are the apple in my this, you are the this in my that, and the next thing you see them running after them. Because women are made by what they hear, what they listen to. Young men have taken this advantage to lie to women. I will marry you. And then they have their way with them and abandon them. You see, what a woman hears affects her. God made her a wonderful informant for her husband's elevation. Husbands, what are you saying to your wives? I want you to know it that what you are saying to your wife is very important. It will either make her a wonderful informant for you, for your own elevation, or it will cause her not to be that wonderful informant for you. What are you saying to your wife? Are you telling her that she's so all blown up that, I mean, you're irritated by her sight, you can't stand her anymore, you don't like the way she speaks, you don't like the way she does this, you don't like the way she does that? Is that what you're saying to her? You are saying it in error then, because it is your duty to teach her. Anything you notice in your wife that is not properly coordinated, it is your duty to teach her to coordinate that thing, that aspect of her life well. Whatever you have observed in your wife that is not properly, it's not well, help her get out of it. It might take a while, but it's worth it. Tell your wife that she's the most beautiful woman you have ever seen. Yes. Tell her that she's the best thing that happened to you. Tell her that you'll be there for her. Tell her lovely things, amazing things. Do not allow her to be deceived. Do not allow her to listen to negative things from elsewhere. Tell her you're pleased that you married her. And then by saying this, you're preparing her to be open to learn from you. You cannot tell a woman, I don't like the way you, and then you think you can teach her. She will not listen to you. But when you appreciate her, you take time to appreciate her, you are preparing her subconsciousness. You are preparing her to give you her all when you are teaching her. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. He who finds a wife, that means wife is missing. In women, wife is missing. That wonderful informant for elevation is not there. You need to find it by activating it. You need to find it by educating her. I understand that a man is a king and a warrior, and you exist in the operational state of love. But God brought woman to a man and said, she's your helpmate. He brought her and said, take. That means that you have to find time to be there for your wife. That means that you have to stoop. You have to stoop to help her, to teach her what you want her to know. Because marriage is a blending. Marriage is coming together and blending to become one. Mixing to become one. So you have to adjust. If you cannot adjust, it will be very difficult. You must adjust. You must stoop from that operational state of love. Come down. You see, Jesus did it. Jesus left the throne in heaven, came down to man, came down to earth, poured out his life. And today we celebrate him. We call him the Most High. We call him our Messiah, our Savior. The same thing with a husband. You have to step down from that operational state of love. Come to the understanding of the woman. Teach her until she understands you. I will personally say that I have learned a lot from my husband because he spends his time teaching me. He teaches me, okay, you didn't do this well. You did not do this well. Do it this way. Next time when you're doing this, do it like this. I don't like this one. Don't even do that one. Yes. He spends his time teaching me. And sometimes when I cannot understand, he will pray about it and say, God, help my wife to understand this. Just the way I also pray for him. Help my husband. That's how we roll in marriage. That's the flow. Don't say that she's supposed to know. No. She is your helpmate. It is you, the husband, who knows what you want. She has come to help you. You are to guide her. You are to guide your wife. Don't be too hard on her. When you are hard on her, learning will be difficult. And when learning becomes difficult, you cannot find a wife in her. You cannot find a wife, and so even to find a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord will be difficult. See what Malachi says, Malachi chapter 2. He said, when the man begins to shed tears, that he does not even listen. Why? Because you have been faithless to the wife of your youth. He hates violence. And you're also thinking of divorce. So he hates it. You see, if you don't channel your energy into teaching her now so she can blend, she can learn gradually and become what you want. Tomorrow you're going to channel that energy to sue for divorce. Which one is easier? Is it not easier to teach her now? Is it not easier to be there for her, to ensure that she gets it? Now, when she gets it, just like Bible says, Jesus will see his hairs. You will be happy because when you look at your wife, you see your sweat in her. That is your product. You can hit your chest and say, when I married this my wife, she was very stubborn, but today see the way she is. When I married this my wife, she was very like this. She had this kind of character, she had this kind of behavior, but see how she is today. Because you have taken time to teach her. That's the joy of marriage. That's the joy. If you don't put your energies into something, how will you enjoy it? How will you enjoy it? You have to put your energy into it. It's so that when you look at it, you hit your chest and say, that's my product. When people begin to say, wow, this is your wife, you say, that's my product. So you see, husbands, please, I want you to speak nicely to your wives, because when you speak nicely to your wives, they will multiply it. And in future, you will see them reproducing the best form of those words you spoke. They will reproduce it for you. They will multiply it for you. So spend your time speaking very nice words to your wives. When you wake up in the morning, you see her smile and say, she makes you happy. It means a lot. And then, as you're doing all this, you follow it up with some alert in her account, and that will seal the deal. But even if you don't have, it's understandable, So if you have found anything interesting in this episode, I want you to like. I also want you to subscribe if you have not done that. Subscribe to this channel. And don't forget, drop a comment and share so that other husbands and wives will get to learn the beautiful things, beautiful message that is contained in this episode. Well, I'll take a break. See you again in the next episode. Thanks for your time and attention.